Anna, The Promised Neverland.
Yes.
It is time for us to review it. Based on the manga series of the same name, written by Kaiju Shirai and illustrated by Hosuka Demizu, The Promised Neverland is a dark fantasy thriller anime. The anime's first season aired from January 10, 2019 to March 29, 2019, and the second season from January 8, 2021 to March 26, 2021. Both seasons were animated by Studio Cloverworks. Due to the success of the manga, the anime adaptation was highly anticipated, and while the first season was well received by the public and critics, with sites like Polygon, IGN, Crunchyroll, and Forbes listing it as one of the best anime of the 2010s, the second season received an overwhelming negative reception, mainly due to its rushed pacing and simplification of the original manga's plot. First of all, I want us to start with quick thoughts, right? Overall, what did we think of this anime? What did you think of this anime?
I mean, I have to say my general impression of the anime pretty much resonates with what you said in the description. The first season was just so interesting. It got me hooked up right away. I was so curious to see what happens next. And then the second season is starting off well. And then it just rushed through everything. Like, you could feel right away from like the third episode, you could feel like, wait,
What's happening?
this is so fast. And then by the time you reach the episode before the last, you already feel like the story was so rushed. And then the last episode is like,
It's even more rushed. You don't know like what's happening anymore.
What?
Yes,
Okay.
so I have to echo a lot of the, general consensus about this show, right? First season, lots of potential. You're looking forward to the second season, and they just destroy that goodwill. I don't know what happened there.
And it's interesting because I thought that maybe they did that because they just wanted to end it because it wasn't generally like that popular. But then you're telling me that it was actually extremely popular and it was like promoted everywhere and all the anime publications were talking about it. So why? Like why didn't they just want to drag it for the next 10 years or so? You know?
Right? This might be a question we never get an answer to, or maybe some corners of the internet are already sleuthing that up. I'm curious to really get a story onto what happened with the second season of The Promised Neverland. Some things, right, and we can go into that as we do our review. Some things about the first season might be, less than stellar. You might be able to criticize some of the elements.
Controversial, you
Yeah.
could say.
But it still was leagues ahead of what we
Yeah.
got for the second season. I really... So, maybe in a sentence, right? If we have to encapsulate all of this, first season and second season, what is this show?
I
What
would
do we
say
think
lost
of it?
opportunity is what I would say.
Hmm.
It could have been so much better.
Yeah. I would say also something similar, right? Lost opportunity. I would say, sadly, don't watch it if you haven't watched it,
Yeah.
because it's not worth it.
Maybe just read the manga.
Maybe just read the manga, yeah.
It's ruining your story, really. It's ruining the story, the second season.
Definitely.
By rushing through it, I mean.
Definitely. And it's ruining it for people who might have wanted to read the manga
Right.
later on, because it just tells you the ending too.
Yeah.
So that's so weird.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
such
we'll get
a
to
weird
that.
choice.
We'll get
yeah.
to that.
So let's get right into it. Let's get to the plot.
Yes.
So, season 1. Norman, Emma, and Ray are the brightest kids at the Gracefield House Orphanage. And under the care of Isabella, who they refer to as Mama, all the kids have enjoyed a comfortable life, good food, clean clothes, and the perfect environment to learn. One day though, Emma and Norman uncover the dark and twisted truth of the outside world that they are forbidden from seeing. Behind the facade of a happy orphanage, the children of Gracefield House are secretly being raised as food for demons.
Like, just listen to this introduction, you know? By the way, this is only the first episode
Right.
that we're talking about here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it gets you hooked up right away. Like, right away, you know? The odds, you know? You have a bunch of kids against the world of demons.
Mm-hmm.
The odds are like so, you know, not in their favor.
But at that point, it's not even about the odds yet, right? Because you don't know the overall situation. It's just a surprise,
Right,
right?
yeah.
Because everything seems happy. You feel like something's wrong, right? They have these numbers on their neck. They do these weird exams. But other than that, they seem happy. Mama Isabella seems like a great person. And then you discover at the end, no, they were just food. They're in a farm. It's messed up. It was messed up.
Yeah.
Determined to save themselves and the other kids, Emma, Norman, and Ray began planning an escape. But their caretaker, Isabella, has brought in extra help to help keep the orphans in line. The extra help, I think, Sister Crone is also an interesting character in addition, but also this whole element of actually Isabella realizes that something's happening, right?
Right, because, as we find out, the mother, the person taking care of the kids, is also, has to be one of the brightest of her generation.
Yeah.
And, in order to be able to keep in line these kids whom they're raising to be very smart. So I feel like that creates a very interesting dynamic, right? Between the main characters, the three kids, and the main antagonist of this season, which is Isabella.
Yeah. And just, this is the beginning of kind of this chess game between the three of them, and her and Sister Crone
Yes.
kind of as an extra element who's sometimes on their side, maybe not on Isabella's side, maybe not.
Right.
On her side mostly.
Yeah,
right?
she's on her own side, which makes her a very interesting character, like you said.
Yeah.
Because you kind of feel like at some point, she's just playing both sides to gain the best, position for herself.
Yeah. The trio recruits the two other oldest children, and just as the plan to escape the orphanage is coming together, Isabella breaks Emma's leg and reveals that Norman's days are numbered. That was a messed up moment. That's when Isabella was like, okay, I'm done playing, acting like I don't know what's happening.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go.
And I'm done playing this chess game
Yeah.
of like, I let you do something and then I do something to stop you, to interfere. Like, no.
I'm
Here
just
it
gonna
is,
go
I'm
out
breaking your
straight
leg.
and say, no, I know what's happening. I know you guys know, but there's nothing you can do.
Right.
And the breaking of the leg to put that despair into their mind, and also ours, right? I remember watching and thinking, well, there's no way they can escape now.
Right.
Emma and Ray will do anything to save their friend from being eaten by the demons, but they are unable to come up with a plan to outsmart their foe. So that's a really sad element, right? Norman will eventually, get shipped out, regardless of Emma and Ray's trying so
Best
hard, right?
efforts.
Best effort. And it's culminate in that moment, right? When Norman kind of succeed in not escaping, but getting away from Mama.
Yeah.
And then he discovers that they're just surrounded by trenches, and he has to go back to tell them.
Right,
'Cause
because
they-
they're not prepared
for that. Mhm.
So at that point, it was between saving himself by following the plan, right, to just stay hidden, and going back and telling the rest of them what they need to be ready for in order for them to escape.
And also help them come up with a plan, right? With no time on their hand, Norman is shipped out from Gracefield House. A few months later, and just before Ray's 12th birthday, when he's supposed to be shipped out, he attempts suicide. But with the help of Norman, Emma and the other children had already coordinated a new plan and proceed to burn down their house. Emma, Ray, and 13 other children make their run for freedom, defeating Isabella.
That was such a satisfying moment. The moment when they break free and when you find out how they did it, like everything they had planned all along.
Yeah, and that Norman helped them before being shipped out, helped them prepare
Right.
this whole thing, right?
Like, it was such a liberating moment, to watch that scene of them getting away. But also that last episode brings in another interesting element, which is that Isabella herself
I tried before.
had tried before at some point to escape when she realized what was actually going on.
Yeah.
And I thought it was very interesting, that scene with her standing on the wall, the fence, whatever, and looking at the kids, being already on the other side and being free, that there was some kind of longing in her eyes.
Right. You felt like she didn't hold it against them, right?
Right.
She tried her best to stop them, but once they succeeded, she was like, good for you, right?
Yeah, exactly. You managed to do what I
I couldn't, yeah. But also another interesting element that is added there at the end is that we discover she was actually Ray's mom, right? We didn't include that in the
Right.
synopsis recap, but Ray was kind of a double, triple agent. He knew all along what was
Yes.
happening, and actually pushed Norman and Emma to discover the truth, and knew that Isabella was his mom too, which makes the whole thing so messed up, right?
Yeah, it just makes the dynamic between them, that much more difficult. I believe, but also interesting to follow.
So before we move to season 2, any final thoughts on season 1, right? This was the season that everybody praised, right? Saying that it was one of the best animes of the past decade.
It was great. I mean, the past decade, I don't know, like, maybe I haven't watched that many animes of the past decade.
They sound like strong words, but it was really
but
good.
it was really, really good. I really liked this, chess game that they played throughout the anime with different things, like how there's always another surprise. There's always, they outsmart each other. I have to say, it was so promising.
Yeah. And
So
then
promising.
season 2 happened. Now up against a dangerous natural world and their demon pursuer, Emma and Ray struggled through the dangerous forest to lead the children to safety. When the pursuer almost catch up to them, and just when the situation is at its most dire, a mysterious woman and a man suddenly appear. They are revealed to be Mujika and Sanju, two demons who claim not to eat human meat. I say claim because while Mujika doesn't, Sanju just wants to hunt.
Right. So I thought that the introduction of their characters was very interesting because it instantly brought in that element of who's actually the enemy. We had the feeling in the first season that it was, mainly the human kids who are being raised as food for the demons, and so the demons were
The bad guys. Yeah.
And then there were some humans who aligned themselves with the demons only to protect their own lives. But in general, it was the demons who were the bad guys. But now we're introduced here to these two demons who actually help them.
Yeah.
And so it creates this whole storyline of it's not humans against demons. It's just, the people, like humans and demons together, who want to be able to coexist, and those who don't.
Yeah. Though, like I was saying, right, this is not necessarily the case here for Sanju. Coexisting.
He has different motivations
goals, yeah.
there, yes.
But it still helps them, right? And so, thanks to Mujika and Sanju's help, they find a bunker left for them by William Minerva. William Minerva, that's an element from the first season, introduced in the first season, right? Someone is trying to help them from the outside with these books. And now that they're outside, right, and they have this pen that's leading them to a secret bunker.
Right, it's like a map. It's like an electronic map.
Yeah. They do get to the bunker, right, and get a message from William Minerva explaining a little bit that he left that for them. And so we're still at the beginning of the second season, kind of intrigued, kind of interested, seeing what will happen next, right? We don't know what's about to hit us.
But
what the hell happened to the show from now on, from this point, when they get to the bunker? It is a shit show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they get to the bunker. They are chased out of the bunker. There's a help message in there. We don't never know what that's about. After 1 year time skip, we find them near a monster town, living in a church where an old demon sometimes goes to pray. They go to town, are discovered by demon, but saved by Norman and his new friends. He's alive and escaped from a testing facility. Norman and his friends are angry and want to degenerate all the demons. Emma is nice and doesn't want it. I go fast because this is the feeling you get when watching these episodes.
It is truly. So, first of all, I didn't think that they would lose the bunker after one episode. Like, literally, that's how long they stayed there, one episode. I really had the feeling that there would be a whole nother storyline that's gonna happen there, with them being, or having the bunker as their base, right? Which doesn't happen. They get found right away, and that's already an issue there because we don't understand how did they get found.
True. Around the time these episodes were coming out, after the bunker, a lot of people were saying they've skipped a big arc, a really important arc. So there was already kind of a trepidatious. People were wary, like, why did they skip the arc? Maybe they have a reason, but they skipped something, right? So maybe that's why it felt so rushed from the moment they find the bunker and then the moment they're kicked out of the bunker, which is within one episode.
Yeah.
Like I said, that help message, what was that about? We'll never know.
Oh yeah, that they just like it's interesting. Also, I don't know that it's smart too. You know, they keep some elements that they never go back to.
Yeah, some elements from the manga and then
Right.
don't like even the fact that Sonju was not really an ally never really comes back
Yeah,
to play any.
never really
Yeah,
matters.
so why introduce that,
Right.
right? And then Norman is alive. He has these new friends, and I was saying as we were reacting to the episodes, like they're just rushing through what happened to Norman, huh? Well, like what was that all about?
Yeah, we just get like a really quick flashback at some point.
And then him and his friend just switch side. Like at first they want to kill all the demons, Emma doesn't, and they just switch side like this.
Right.
Everything is so rushed. But
Also, the time skip. Like,
yeah,
we have to mention there's a
the time skip.
It just
Right?
says 1 year later. Like, wait, you've been chased by demons in a demon world for 1 year. It's impossible for it to not be a story. You know,
Yeah.
you just time skip.
What happened? Right? They
Oh.
get out of the bunker. There's a
Right.
huge demon about to eat them, and then just 1 year later.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
What? But yeah, Norman and his friend wants to degenerate all the demons. Emma doesn't. They listen to her, they change their mind, and thanks to Mijika, they have a new solution. Magic blood. Norman is dying. The old demon gives them the key to everything. They raid Gracefield, defeat the real villain, Minerva's brother, save everyone, including Isabella and the other mamas. Norman is not dying anymore. The kids go to the human world, but Emma, Ray, and Norman stay behind to participate in a slideshow. There's some weird dragon, a thing that seems like a war. They win. Emma meets Phil in the human world. The end.
The slideshow was the worst, but before we get to the slideshow, I have to say one thing that really upset me the most, and I have to say a lot of things upset me. Like, there are a lot of things that I wish I had seen. Why is not Norman dying anymore? Like, at some point they mention, like when they look on that map from the magic pen, they say like, oh look, here's the cure for your illness. They never go there. They never get the cure. There's never anything that happens there.
We just have to assume they got it, right?
It's just like next episode he's not dying anymore. So when did you go there?
Yeah.
What happened there? Why? Oh my gosh.
Everything felt so contrived. Like when the old demon comes and gives them the pen and they look at the pen, oh, here's the answer to every problem that we have.
Here's the map. Here's how to get in and out of Gracefield.
Here's the guard
how
shift.
to go. Yeah, the guard shift. Everything. Like everything is there, and then everything happens in one episode.
And one episode, and then we discover this other guy, right? Peter Atri, who's
Right.
the real villain. We get a quick flashback. He's Minerva's brother. And then we're supposed to care about him. Like, I don't know him.
Yeah.
And we have a Turnhills from Isabella, which I was expecting. I kept saying, like, I don't think she really hates them. But everything else is so rushed that even that is rushed and you don't get the satisfaction from it,
Right.
really, right? Oh, and then the biggest sin of them all, the slideshow.
The slideshow. Oh.
The slideshow. What was that?
Why did you even put it in? Seriously, like whoever made this anime, why did you put that slideshow in?
Yeah.
You know, just end it there. Fine, rush through everything, skips. Just end it there, and maybe pick it up again in 10 years or
Yeah.
so. Or just don't ruin it for the people who maybe would want to watch.
Right, because the slideshow actually shows stuff, right?
Right, yeah.
And
I
so-
mean, it still raises some question. Things are
Yeah.
unclear, but you know how it ends.
Yeah, what's that dragon thing?
Right, yeah.
But still, you know there's a war with the, I suppose, the queen and the nobles. And then you know that in the end, it seems like Mujika is the new queen. They make a deal with Emma. They go
Yeah.
back to the human world. I got the ending now. Like, it ruins the story for me if I want to watch a reboot or read the manga.
Right. So many elements that are just introduced, just drop there, and then they don't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Like so many, way too many.
And so many contrived things. Like, they come up with a fleet of air balloon out of nowhere, right? That they built in,
Right. Yeah.
in 5 hours or I don't know. Like, the whole thing is, catastrophe. A catastrophe. Rush.
It's an avalanche.
Anna, any final thoughts? I think we've made our thoughts pretty clear about what we thought of this show, but any final elements you want to talk about, touch on?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna read the manga. Like,
Yeah.
it ruined the story for me, but on the other hand, there are things that I want to know. I want to know what's the dragon. I want to see the war. I want to see all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm gonna read the manga, and somehow maybe I'll take a break, maybe read it in like a couple of years or so, and try to
Forget about the slideshow.
yes.
Yeah. That might be an idea. Yeah. So yeah, final thoughts on my hand. Don't watch this anime, right?
Oh yeah, don't watch
Read
it.
the manga or watch
But
reboot
also,
in 10 years also.
yeah.
But don't watch this. Oh. But you know, it is what it is. It's over now. It can't hurt us anymore. So we'll move on to our next anime. If you've seen The Promised Neverland, let us know in the comment section below what did you think of that anime. Like this video if you did. Subscribe to this channel if you're not subscribed already. And don't forget that if you yourself have a goal or a dream that you want to realize, take that first step.